Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about this guy. Now, I'd not actually seen this anywhere on the internet until a friend of mine sent me a link to it and they were like, oh, I'm considering getting this. What do you think? Do you think it'd be any good? And I was like, well, I mean, it's made by Neewer, right? It's gonna be one of those cheaper build quality products that actually does the job fairly well. Now, this is a portable LED. So as you can see, you've got several LEDs here. So it's not a single source, which is obviously going to impact the harshness of the light. Now, because you've got loads of little sources of light, this actually has a magnetic diffuser on the front. So this, just like the aperture ones, just clips on the front. Now, it does come with this little cold shoe mount itself. This will mount to your camera. You can actually put this on several different places on here, although I don't really know why you'd want to do that when it doesn't necessarily have an up and a down. Like, it could just, doesn't matter which way you put it up. So that's kind of an interesting design feature, to be honest. But at a quarter of the price of an Aperture MC, you get quarter of the features, but fundamentally it will do the job. The light itself is relatively bright. So if I turn this on now, that's its lowest setting. And if I want to turn it up, there is a button on the side to obviously turn it on, and then two buttons, one for up and one for down. So that is as bright as it goes. Now, that is actually really bright. If I were to hold it over here, I'd say it's probably about the same brightness as my key light, which is 480 LED panel on about 50%. This itself is battery powered. There's no external battery pack at all. It is powered by a 5-volt DC input. So if you've got any kind of USB, USB micro chargers, that will charge this up. So if you generally have any portable chargers for any camera batteries or Sony batteries, those will usually come with one of those cables. So I expect anybody will have one of those. So that's kind of good. I mean, personally, I'd have preferred USB Type-C, as everyone is moving towards that as a standard, very slowly, but everyone is doing it. I would much have preferred to have seen USB Type-C cable in there, purely because of future-proofing and not having to carry about 50 different cables with me. So the battery in this is an 1800 milliamp hour battery, which means that at full brightness, which is, I believe, 660 lux at half a meter or 165 at a meter, this will last an hour and a half at maximum brightness, or 22 hours at minimum brightness, which is kind of insane, really, that there's that much of a difference between them. It does have 9 dimming levels, so it does go up quite high. But I mean, in terms of like a portable light of that kind of capacity, like an hour and a half, say if you're using this as a vlog light, more on that coming soon. If you're using this as a vlog light on top of a camera in dark situations, that's more than enough usually for you're not going to be recording full on for an hour and a half. So I actually think that is a perfectly acceptable time for something like this. It's very, very lightweight. It only weighs 67 grams, which is nothing at the end of the day. If you're popping this on top of a camera that already weighs about 500 grams, you're not really going to notice that little bit of extra weight on top. So this is like pretty suitable to anyone who is kind of like vlogging or needs that extra little bit of light. In a couple of recent videos, I've actually used this as a kicker. So obviously this is a slightly different layout to before. I'm just trying something new. But usually if I'm recording at the desk behind me, then over on that shelf over there, I've positioned this with a blue gel on it to give me a bit of a blue kicker, and I've usually had it around about 50-60% brightness, and that's worked really well. This does come with gels to alter the color. It's not an RGB panel, so like I said, it is about a quarter of the price of something like an Aperture MC, but again, you get a quarter of the features. This is not bi-color, this is not RGB, this is purely a white 6500K white balance light. So they do offer it with gels, so it comes with two of your standard CTO and CTB gels. I'll just grab those. There you go, you've got CTO and CTB. So it comes with those, but they actually do offer a kit which comes with these. They're not technically gels, but they are. So I've got a blue, I've got a pink, a black. If someone could let me know what this is for, that would be great. A red, slightly darker blue, a green, an orange, and a yellow. So it comes with all of those, and that's the pack that I ordered. That was £24. I'm not being funny, but £24 for a light that can do as many things as this can for a long time, I'm pretty happy with that, to be fair. It also comes with this travel case, so I should have probably mentioned that. But yeah, it does come with a little USB micro cable. But this just fits quite nicely all together in there. You don't have to like really take anything apart. Zip it up, and that is that. It's got a nice little carabiner or belt clip. Not quite sure who would be belting this onto their side. Not quite sure why you'd really need that, to be honest. Yeah, not quite sure why you'd need that, but nice thought, I suppose. Now, in terms of the accuracy of the color of the light itself, so obviously the white, it is rated at 95 CRI, which is actually really good for something of this price. I'll be comparing this to a few other LED lights in the kind of coming videos. A bit of a focus on lighting at the moment because I'm interested in that, and it's one of the most important parts of making any kind of visual image. So whether or not you're photographing stuff or videoing stuff, lighting is absolutely key. Something that I've come to learn through experimenting with things, and I can completely change the way like a space feels and looks purely by adjusting the lighting. So if you're just starting out, I would fully suggest having a look at, you know, lighting tutorials, plenty of them on Aperture's website. Absolutely love that channel. Now, if you follow my Instagram, you'll have seen that I have had a little bit of a colourful theme going on recently, and I've actually used this for some of the like the pinky purpley tones in the most recent stuff that I've done. So the last 3 or 4 posts that I've done on my Instagram as I transition it over, because I can never make my mind up about how I want that to look. So this is actually really good for adding that kind of fill or kicker light in a photography scenario. All I did was essentially pop a gel on this, set it up, and you can kind of move it around. There's kind of the beauty of this being so small and portable, rather than having, you know, like a big light stand with a big base kind of like this, and you don't have to like worry about moving it around or hanging it over a table. You can literally just pop this on the table as it is and you're perfectly fine. If you really wanted to, you could attach it to something like a Gorillapod, and then you've got like a bit of flexibility. You can attach it to a clamp. You know, the possibilities with something kind of this small are pretty endless, really, depending on obviously what kit that you have available to you. Now, if I just quickly grab my M50, I can show you a bit of a size comparison. So again, this is the Canon M50 with the Viltrox EF M2 speed booster to allow me to use normal EF glass, and it also makes the Canon M50 almost full frame, so it means that I almost get 24mm for vlogging. There you go, so that's it on top of the M50 right there. So you can see if you were, you know, vlogging with it, you just pop this on and you've got yourself like a little bit of extra light. Actually looks quite nice. It's not too harsh, although I will say it might be worth getting some kind of diffusion to go underneath the magnetic plate, because even with this on there, it's a slightly harsher light than what I would prefer. You can't really notice it too much at this brightness, at this distance, but if you were to be using it kind of as an actual key light, it's nowhere near as good as something much larger, much softer. So I would suggest, if you're going to be using it for that kind of thing, maybe just get like a small little bit of diffusion just to go in front of it, and that would work quite well. Now, a small panel like this could also work quite well for lighting up situations where you are filming someone or something quite close. I'll be honest, like this light itself, I'm actually really pleased with it. I didn't expect to like it as much. I bought it more to have a little test. I was mainly going to get the Aperture MC. I was going to save up and then get it, but actually I'm actually really happy with how this light has performed so far. So I think I'll be keeping it. I'm not going to be sending it back. I do still want to test the Aperture MC. Okay, so I think we'll probably leave it there for this video. I hope that's kind of given you an insight into what I think has to be one of the best finds. I'm not going to actually take credit for that. One of the best things I've ever been recommended in terms of price to performance, like £24 for an extra light that works for both a main vlogging light, a kicker light in main videos, a product light that you have gels on with a magnetic clip and diffusion. Like, I think that's great. No external batteries needed, perfect for a small light travel setup. So I would recommend this for most people that are either making stuff on a budget, vlogging, or hell, if you are a streamer, something like this might work quite well. But like I said, I'm going to leave it there for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, get subscribed, leave a comment if you want to know anything else about this light. If you aren't going to be picking one up until you have a few more questions answered, either drop me a message or a tweet, message me on Instagram. All the links are in the description below. But yeah, like the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.